What's going on, guys? It's your boy Marcus from Team Takeover. We're back. We're literally just shooting these videos back to back, by the way. But welcome to part 3 of my Nats recap, where I talk about the field play of Nats. What was there? Who was playing what? Was it insane? What strategies were going off? What won, eventually? Of course, Storm. And basically, what was the field of play? So I just want to say, from a Dragon Ball Super player standpoint, Nats was freaking awesome, man. It was incredible. People were like, and you just got to see everybody. Everybody was there. Except Marcel Russell, rip on your flight not being able to make it. Ripperoni. That sucked. Marcel Russell could not make it. He was pre-registered and everything, and it would have been really nice to meet him. Really sucks he couldn't make it. A really great player, fantastic player. Didn't get to meet him. Didn't get to see him. This flight. That sucks. But Peter Patani's there. Man, that guy's awesome. Got to meet him for the first time. That guy signed my Nigerians. I was so hyped. I get to meet Danny Hype. I had a conversation with him. We were playing a similar deck list with leaders that weren't androids, but were androids, but not Android 17, 18. I was playing Cell. He was playing Super 17, and we're talking about the text of the format. We're talking about Super 17, how great he is. Oh, dude, he's fantastic. Absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. I got to meet Dusty O'Brien. Awesome guy. He actually came up to me after one of my runs. So shout out to Dusty O'Brien. If you see this video, dude, you're awesome. It was really nice talking to you. I came up, really super nice guy. Got to he asked me about one of my rounds. I got to explain like this. Really, really big heartbreaking loss, and then a really, really good win. Excellent commentator. So that was awesome. And everyone was there. Eggman was there. Crossroad TCG, 3XG Productions was there. Oh, everybody was there. It was great. Fantastic. Absolutely super great event. So, 10 out of 10 for me. Love Nats. I had so much fun. And this is crazy. So basically, after round 1, I just, got happy to be there. That I was just there. So, literally all day I was just playing. I was like, dude, I'm just excited to be here. It's just such a fantastic and great day. So, I just had an absolute blast. Didn't even care. When I lost, I didn't even care that I was losing. After I lost in round 6, I was X3, and I was like, I'm just going to drop. My friend's like, really, dude? You're going to drop? I was like, yeah, dude. I'm in Nats, dude. I'm having the time of my life already. It does not matter to me that, I just, lost my chance at getting whatever X amount of money or anything I wasn't here for that. I was here for the experience, and the experience was absolutely fantastic. It had been fantastic up to that point. So as a guy being able to enjoy Nats as an event, oh, fantastic. Just freaking perfect. Saturday was awesome. Event ran very smoothly. Judges were on top of it. Minus the shady pack thing that happened, which I'll talk about in a second. It has to do with the field, so it's whatever. Minus the shady entry pack thing, fantastic weekend overall. One thing I wish I would have done is I wish I would have saved more money so I could participate in more side events and do stuff like that, which I will do next time. But as far as this was concerned, field play, preparing everything, it was great. It was fantastic. On to the competitive standpoint. Bandai, if you watch this video, do me a solid and never release a set 2 weeks before Nats again. Because that is the only thing about Nats that I will honestly say was bad. It was horrible. And here's why. It's not that set 5 was just a good set. It was a clearly meta-impacting set. Period. And for 2 weeks, to be able to sit down and try and figure out what we have, that is not nearly enough time. We need, going into Nats, a meta. So that other people can, adjust. In the field of play was everywhere. First off, I can personally attest, after meeting and talking to several pros at this game, that they had no idea what they were playing till the morning of the event. Not even kidding. Horrible. in terms of understanding what my deck does in relation to other people. I had been testing for weeks, and the night before, I was still unconfident in what I had going into this event. I knew what I was playing was good. I knew that what I was playing was busted when it got to where it wanted to be. And there are some card choices that, looking back, like I said in my last video, about 6 cards, I would change. But here's the thing. I prepared for Storm. I knew that Storm going into this event, besides Cell or besides Androids, and I knew that Cell was the leader to play, okay? I knew that Storm was going to be the deck to beat. It won nets. I prepared my deck. You saw my side deck. It was stock full of cards that handled Storm, right? Lo and behold, I didn't play one Storm deck at all that day. Not one. And I'm going to tell you something. I played against Androids, prepared for. Janemba, prepared for. Hercule, did not prepare for. Why? It's Hercule. It should not have made it, right? Storm may have been a deck, but every other deck beats Hercule but Droids, really. Like Droids, it's 50-50. Every other deck there present should beat Hercule. It just should. Like, the Janemba crushes Hercule. Like, it's really, really tough. Like, you have to be a really good player and know what you're doing before that. Announcer can crush Hercule. It was so frustrating to go against a Hercule player twice, because I'm like, where is this deck? Why are you playing? Like, the competitive side of me, even though I was having a blast, why are you playing that deck? Like, the guy was playing Demigra in it, okay? Shenron destroys Hercule. Okay, reset your hand at 3, drop a bunch of bombs, time to die. Like, you're never getting through this either. Like, I have like 50 cards in hand. Shenron Veggies literally can deck out Hercule before it gets to even turn 5. Like, it is that stinking serious, the amount of pressure Shenron Veggies can put on board. Like, I was so mad that we had no idea what was going on. And this is the other thing, and you will probably hear this from other people if you watch their content on YouTube that talk about the event. They felt that it was a crapshoot about who they were playing and versus what they actually prepared for. There were 5 different decks that were viable coming into this. Hercule, Janemba, Android or Cell, if you count that. Obviously, Storm. And, you know, oh, shoot, I don't know what the 5th viable deck was. But bottom line is there were like 5 really, really good decks that you can play. And going into that event, oh, and Shenron, Shenron, last one. And obviously, like, you cannot prepare for all of them. You can't. Like, that's an impossibility. You basically play decks that have good matchups across the board. Cell, Androids, Janemba, they do not, and Storm, they do not have a lot of bad matchups. They have really good matchups across the board. Janemba has insane matchups against everybody but Androids. And Shenron that can, like, play Gogeta, but, like, you double objection quickly or you've lost. There's just no other way of getting around it. You see your objections late, game over. So going to the event, like, people, there was way too much to prepare for it, not enough time to assess where things are. Like, for example, like, Mexico Nationals showed that, like, Shenron Veggies was a deck. It was a real deck. Black Mask Saiyan Vegeta card, 1 drop, says, your Veggie cards are crap. Then everyone's like, bro, Planet M2. And then all the Shenron Veggies were shrekking that card, demolishing, blowing up everything with M2. And then Veggies were like, I'm going off uninhibited. And then Janemba's like, thanks for, like, playing Dragon Balls, ripping cards out of your deck, and everything else. I defend myself all day long. And here's a nice serving of your deck's been milled out. Thank you very much. Like, it was insane. To prepare for this event, honestly, from a competitive standpoint, I'm not happy. Like, no amount of preparation was going to set in motion an event where people knew that this was going to be a deck that could win it all. Like, we all, okay, scratch out. We all knew that the decks we were playing could win it all. Okay? We didn't know what the meta was, just walking into this. Like, we walked into a room and we're all like, we have no idea what's in here, but we're going to have to play it anyway. We're going to have to deal with it anyway. And that sucks. From, like, a competitive standpoint, that was terrible. Because, like, bro, you don't know what... Like, I didn't even know. I thought I was one of the only people on Super 17. Like, I really did. The Android player across from me was playing Super 17. I was like, oh my gosh, people are on this. King Vegeta Surprise Attack. He ran into it and then told me that he didn't know that King Vegeta Surprise Attack would be a thing. All the Janemba players, all of the ones that did well, probably play King Vegeta Surprise Attack. I didn't actually look at the deck list. But King Vegeta Surprise Attack was one of the cards of the weekend. It was absurd. It was insane. And then so, like... It's just, you just don't know. You just didn't know. And it was just one of those things where we just kind of tossed out there. The set was really too impactful. And Janemba. Bro, Janemba was so much more serious than I gave it credit for. Number one. And this is a very, very, very big POFAR on, on ARG for this. So, registration packs were given out. And seemed pretty shady that no one pulled a Janemba. There was actually a poll that was posted on the Dragon Ball Super community page. Like 4 people responded that they got a Janemba. And ARG was overstocked with Janemba. Like, I got 3 Yamchas. 3 Yamchas, right? Seems suspicious, at least. So, like, that was a thing. But them having Janembas at the vendor station and them doing what everyone is pretty much catching on to what happened of what they did. You just allowed an ease of access to that card, which is unfortunate. Because perhaps had players not gotten that, it would have affected the metagame intensely. Janemba probably would not have been as represented as it was, especially if they could have sold out. Like, to give you an idea, Janemba was a $30 card at Nats Weekend. By day 2, they still had a playset of foils for me. They said they were backstocked in non-foils. He didn't even bother counting how many they had. That's how many they had. I'm telling you, Janemba was so much more serious than I probably gave it credit for, because it was like, I thought, I knew that people were like sitting down saying, oh, I just milled somebody for like 10, 12 cards. Like, that's not real, dude. Stop. Like, no, like you had like 20 energy to do that. But I knew that Janemba was going to be serious. I underestimated how serious of a strategy it really could be. Like, if you didn't see the right pieces, you were in trouble. My deck handles Janemba very greatly, because basically you get to, you're doing what you're doing, milling my cards, and you're setting me up at the same time. So it doesn't hurt me as bad. If I still chain you one time, the game's over. It should be over, depending on when I do it. I only lost one to one Janemba player, and my one loss to him, one of the games I did not get cell resolved until I hard casted the 7-drop. It's like, that's the kind of game it was. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, we had a very unprepared meta. Not one that was easily, you could not look at this event and be like, one way or another, like, this is for sure the deck to play and beat. And this is what allowed Storm to win. First off, no one enjoyed playing Storm. Basically, every video I've watched of people who played Storm and did not do well with Storm, hated it. Like, they just hated it. And Storm is so solitaire. By that weekend, I had heard so many complaints about Storm being a deck that they just wished it was dead. Like, and then Bandai released the fact that they're releasing the 2-drop Goku that literally should put that deck to rest. But, I mean, that's what allowed Storm to win. That meta was so undefined that we could not prepare. Like, Storm does what it does and says, if you can't defend against what I'm doing, you die. That's basically its game plan. And that's a pretty good game plan against everybody else who was unprepared to play against everything else. Like, if you prepared for Shenron and Janemba, but didn't account for Storm or Hercule, you died. If you prepared for Cell Chain and Janemba, but you didn't prepare for Storm, Hercule, or Shenron, you died. Like, that was just a thing. So, yeah. Stay tuned to the next video where I talk about key cards that were just really great at the event. This is Marcus from Team Takeover. See you in video 4.